Frenzied. It's like we're on a high-speed train that's going somewhere fast, and I like it, I do, but I also like a slow train where I can look out the window and appreciate the countryside, the buildings, the mountains. It's like I don't want to miss the little steps, I want it to last. And then the next second I want to grow up faster, more, now. To be as ready as everyone else is. How is everyone else so ready? I still find it very surprising, having a boy in my personal space. I still get nervous when he puts his arm around my waist or reaches for my hand. I don't think I know how to date in the 2010s. I'm confused by it. I don't want what Margot and Josh had, or Peter and Genevieve. I want something different. I guess you could call me a late bloomer, but that implies that we're all on some predetermined blooming schedule, that there's a right or a wrong way to be 16 and in love with a boy. My body is a temple not just any boy gets to worship at. I won't do any more than I want to do. 22. Peter and I are at Starbucks, sitting side by side, studying for our chemistry exam. Idly, he puts his arm around my chair and starts twisting my hair around his pencil and letting it unfurl like a slice of ribbon. I ignore him. He pulls my chair closer to his and plants a warm kiss on my neck, which makes me giggle. I scoot away from him. I can't concentrate when you do that. You said you like when I play with your hair. I do, but I'm trying to study. I look around and then whisper, besides, we're in public. There's hardly anybody in here. There's the barista, and that guy over there by the door. I try to discreetly point with my pencil. Things have been quiet at school. The last thing we need is another meme flare-up. Lara Jean, nobody's going to film us if that's what you're worried about. We're not doing anything. I told you from the start I'm not into PDAs, I remind him. Peter smirks. Really? Let's not forget who kissed who in the hallway. You literally jumped on top of me, Covey. I blush. There was a purpose for that, and you know it. There's a purpose now, he pouts. The purpose is I'm bored and I feel like kissing you. Is that a crime? You're such a baby, I say, pinching his nose hard. If you stay quiet and study for 45 more minutes, I'll let you kiss me in the privacy of your car. Peter's face lights up. Deal. His phone buzzes, and he reaches down to check it. He frowns and texts something, his fingers lightning quick. Is everything okay? I ask, he nods, but he looks distracted, and he keeps texting, even as we're supposed to be studying. And now I'm distracted too, wondering what it could be. Or who. I'm pushing my grocery cart around, looking for condensed milk for key lime pie, when I spot Josh in the cereal aisle. I roll right up to him and bump him with my cart. Hey, neighbor, I say, hey, so guess what? Josh grins a pleased, proud sort of grin. I got into UVA early. I let out a high-pitched shriek and let go of my cart. Josh. That's amazing. I throw my arms around him and jump up and down. I shake his shoulders. Be more excited, you loon. He laughs and jumps up and down a few times too, before releasing me. I am excited. My parents are out of their heads excited because now they don't have to pay out-of-state tuition. They haven't fought in days. Shyly he asks, will you tell Margot? I feel like I can't call her myself, but she deserves to know. She's the one who helped me study all that time. It's partly because of her that this is even happening. I'll tell her. I know she'll be really happy for you, Josh. My dad and Kitty, too. I lift my hand for a high five, and he smacks it. I can't believe it, Josh is going to college, and soon he won't be my neighbor anymore. Not like before. Now that he'll be graduating and leaving town, maybe his parents will finally get their divorce, and then they'll sell the house and he won't even be my sort of neighbor. Things have been off with us for months, even before the Margot breakup, and we haven't hung out in ages, but I liked knowing that he was there, right next door if I needed him. Once a little more time has passed, I begin. Once we have the all clear from Margot, will you come over for dinner again like before? Everyone misses you. I know Kitty's dying to show you Jamie's new tricks. I'll tell you right now, it's nothing fancy, so don't get excited. But still. A smile spreads across his face, that slow smile I know so well. All right, he says, 24, the song girls take Valentine making very seriously. A Valentine is humble and sweet and sincere in its old-fashionedness. And as such, homemade is best. I have plenty of raw materials from my scrapbooking, but in addition I've saved snippets of lace and ribbon and doilies. I have a tin with little beads and pearls and rhinestones in it. I have antique rubber stamps, too, a cupid, hearts of all kinds, flowers. Historically, Daddy gets one Valentine from the three of us. This year is the first that Margot will be sending one of her own. Josh will get one too, though I let Kitty take the lead on it and merely sign my name under hers. I've spent the better part of the afternoon on Peter's. It's a white heart edged in white lace. In the center I've stitched your mine, Peter K, in pink string. I know it will make him smile. It's light-hearted, teasing, it doesn't take itself too seriously, much like Peter himself. Still, it acknowledges the day and the fact that we, Peter Kavinsky and Lara Jean Covey, are in a relationship. I was going to make a much more extravagant card, big and beaded and lacy, but Kitty said it would be a bit much. Don't use all my pearls, I tell Kitty. It's taken me years to build up my collection. Literally, years. Pragmatic as ever, Kitty says, what's the point of collecting them if you don't use them? All that work so they can just live in a little tin box where no one can even see them? I guess, I say, because she does have a point. I'm just saying, only put pearls on the Valentines of the people you really like. What about the purple rhinestones? Use as many of those as you want, I say in a benevolent tone, much like a wealthy landowner to a less fortunate neighbor. The purple rhinestones don't go with my motif. I'm shooting for a Victorian look, and purple rhinestones are more Mardi Gras, but you won't see me saying that to Kitty. Kitty's temperament is such that when she knows you don't much value something, she grows suspicious of it too, and the appeal is lost to her. For a long time I had her convinced that raisins were my absolute favorite. And she must never ever eat more than her share, when in actuality I hate raisins and was grateful someone else was eating them. Kitty used to hoard raisins, she was probably the most regular kid in kindergarten. I'm hot gluing white bric-a-brac around a heart as I wonder aloud, should we do a special breakfast for Daddy? We could buy one of those juicers at the mall and make fresh squeezed pink grapefruit juice. And I think I saw heart waffle makers online for not very expensive. Daddy doesn't like grapefruit, Kitty says. And we barely use our regular waffle maker as it is. How about we just cut the waffle into the shape of a heart instead? That would look so cheap, I scoff. But she's right. There's no sense in buying something we'd only ever use once a year, even if it only costs $19.99. As Kitty gets older, I see that she is far more like Margot than me, but then she says, what if we use our cookie cutter to make heart-shaped pancakes instead? And put in red food coloring? I beam at her. Atta girl. So maybe she's got a little bit of me in her after all. Kitty continues. We could put red food coloring in the syrup, too, to make it look like blood. A bloody heart. No, never mind. Kitty is all her own. The night before Valentine's Day, I get it in my head that my card for Peter isn't enough and cherry turnovers would be a fantastic idea, so I wake up before the sun rises to bake them fresh, and now the kitchen looks like a crime scene. Cherry juice splattered all over the countertops and tiles. It's a bloodbath, a cherry juice bloodbath. Worse than the time I made red velvet cake and got red food coloring in the backsplash tiles. I had to take a toothbrush to the grout, but my turnovers turn out so perfect, right out of a cartoon. Each one so golden and homey, with their fork-tined edges and the little holes to let out steam. My plan is to bring these to the lunch table. I know that Peter and Gabe and Daryl will appreciate them. I'll give one to Lucas, too. And Chris, if she shows up for school. I text Peter that I don't need a ride, because I want to get there early and put the Valentine in his locker. There's something sweet about a Valentine in a locker. When you think about it, a locker is much like a mailbox. And everyone knows that letters sent in the mail are far more romantic than when they're unceremoniously handed over in person. Kitty comes downstairs around 7, and the two of us set a beautiful Valentine's table setting for Daddy. With his Valentines from me, Kitty, and Margot arranged around his plate. I leave him 2 turnovers. I miss the big reaction because I don't want to get to school after Peter. He always cuts it close, so I figure I'm fine being just 5 minutes early. When I get to school, I slip the Valentine into Peter's locker, then head to the cafeteria to wait for him. But when I walk in, he's already there, standing by the vending machines with Genevieve. He has his hands on her shoulders, and he is talking to her intently. She's nodding, her eyes downcast. What could it be, this thing that has her so sad? Or is it just an act, a way to keep Peter close? Here it is Valentine's Day, and I feel like I'm interrupting my boyfriend and his ex-girlfriend. Is he really just being a good friend to her, or is it something more? With her I feel like it's always something more, whether he knows it or not. Have they exchanged Valentine's gifts, for old time's sake? Is that me being paranoid, or is that a thing that exes who are still friends do? She spots me then, says something to Peter, and walks past me and out of the cafeteria. He strides over to me. Happy Valentine's Day, Covey. He puts his hands on my waist and picks me up for a hug like I weigh nothing. Setting me down, he says, can we kiss in public since it's a holiday? Where's my Valentine first? I say, holding my hand out. Peter laughs. Damn, it's in my backpack. Geez. So greedy. Whatever it is, I can tell he is excited to give it to me, which in turn excites me. He takes my hand and leads me over to the table where his backpack is. First sit down, he says, and I obey. He sits down next to me. Close your eyes and hold out your hand. I do, and I hear him unzip his bag, and then he puts something in my hand, a piece of paper. I open my eyes. It's a poem, he says. For you. The moon never beams without bringing me dreams of beautiful Lara Jean, and stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of beautiful Lara Jean. I touch my hand to my lips. Beautiful Lara Jean. I can't even believe it. This is my favorite thing anyone has ever done for me. I could squeeze you to death right now, I'm so happy. To picture him, sitting at his desk at home, scribbling away with a pen and paper, endears him to me so completely. It gives me shivers. Currents of electricity from my scalp down to my toes. Really? You like it? I love it. I throw my arms around him and squeeze with all my might. I will put this Valentine in my hat box, and when I'm old like Stormy, I will take it out and look at it and remember this exact moment. Forget Genevieve, forget everything. Peter Kavinsky wrote me a poem. That's not the only present I brought you. It's not even the best one. He peels away from me and pulls a little velvet jewelry box out of his backpack. I gasp. Pleased, he says, hurry up and open it already. Is it a pin? It's better. My hands fly to my mouth. It's my necklace, the heart locket from his mom's antique store, the very same necklace I admired for so many months. At Christmas when Daddy said the necklace had been sold, I thought it was gone from my life forever. I can't believe it, I whisper, touching the diamond chip in the middle. Here, let me put it on for you. I lift my hair up, and Peter comes around and fastens the necklace around my neck. Can I even accept this? I wonder aloud. It was really expensive, Peter. Like, really expensive. He laughs. I know how much it cost. Don't worry, my mom cut me a deal. I had to sign over a bunch of weekends to driving the van around picking up furniture for the store, but you know, no biggie. It's whatever, as long as you're into it. I touch the necklace. I am. I'm so into it. Surreptitiously, I look around the cafeteria. It's a petty thought. A small thought, but I wish Genevieve were here to see this. Wait, where's my Valentine? Peter asks me. It's in your locker, I say. Now I'm sort of wishing I didn't listen to Kitty and let myself go a little overboard this first Valentine's Day with a boyfriend. With Peter. Oh, well. At least there are the cherry turnovers still warm in my backpack. I'll give them all to him. Sorry, Chris and Lucas and Gabe, I can't stop looking at myself in this necklace. At school, I wear it over my sweater, so all can see and admire. That night I show it to Daddy, to Kitty, to Margot over video chat. As a joke, I show it off to Jamie Foxpickle. Everyone's impressed. I don't take it off, ever. I wear it in the shower, I wear it to sleep. It's like in Little House in the Big Woods, when Laura got a rag doll for Christmas. It had black button eyes, and berry-stained lips and cheeks, red flannel stockings, and a pink and blue calico dress. Laura couldn't take her eyes off of it. She held that doll tight and forgot the rest of the world. Her mother had to remind her to let the other girls hold it. That's how I feel. When Kitty asks to try it on, I hesitate for a tiny second and then feel guilty for being so stingy. Just be careful with it, I tell her as I unclasp the necklace. Kitty pretends to drop the locket off the chain and I shriek. Just kidding, she giggles. She goes over to my mirror and looks at herself, her head tilted, neck arched. Not bad. Aren't you so glad I set this whole you and Peter thing in motion? I throw a pillow at her. Can I borrow it for a special occasion? No. Then I think of Laura and the doll again. Yes. If it's a very special occasion. Thank you, Kitty says. Then she cocks her head and looks at me with serious eyes. Lara Jean, can I ask you a question? You can ask me anything, I say, it's about boys. I try not to look too eager as I nod. Boys. So we're here already. All right. I'm listening. And you promise you'll answer honestly? Sister swear? Of course. Come sit by me, Kitty. She sits down next to me on the floor and I put my arm around her, feeling generous and warm and maternal. Kitty really is growing up, she looks up at me, doe-eyed. Are you and Peter doing it? What? I shove her away. Kitty. Gleefully she says, you promised you'd answer. Well, the answer is no, you sneaky little fink. God. Get out of my room. Kitty skips off, laughing like a mad hyena. I can hear her all the way down the hallway. Just when I thought the hot tub video ordeal was well and truly over with, another version pops up and reminds me that this particular nightmare will never be over. Nothing on the internet ever dies, isn't that what people say? This time I'm in the library, and out of the corner of my eye I see two sophomore girls sharing a pair of earbuds, watching the video, giggling. There I am, in my nightgown, draped all over Peter's lap like a blanket. For a few seconds I just sit there, trapped in my indecision. To confront or not to confront. I remember Margot's words about rising above it and acting like I couldn't care less. And then I think, screw it, I stand up, stalk over to them, and snatch the earbuds out of the laptop. Part of your world comes blasting out the speakers, hey! The girl says, whirling in her seat, then she sees it's me, and she and her friend exchange a panicky look. She slams the laptop shut. Go ahead, play it, I say, crossing my arms. No thanks, she says. I reach over her and open it and push play. Whoever's made this video has spliced it with scenes from The Little Mermaid. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore up above? I snap the computer shut. Just so you know, watching this video is the equivalent of child pornography, and you guys could be charged for it. Your IP address is already in the system. Think about that before you forward it on. That's distribution. The red-haired girl gapes. How is this child porn? I'm underage, and so is Peter. The other girl smirks and says, I thought you guys claimed you weren't having sex. I'm stumped. Well, we'll let the Justice Department sort that out. But first I'm notifying Principal Lachlan. It's not like we're the only ones looking at it. The red-haired girl says, think about how you'd feel if it were you in that video. I say, I'd feel great, the girl mutters. You're lucky. Kavinsky's hot. Lucky. Right. It catches me off guard how upset Peter is when I show him the Little Mermaid video. Because nothing bad ever sticks to Peter, it just rolls off his back. That's why people like him so much, I think. He's sure of himself, he's self-possessed. It sets people at ease, but it's the Little Mermaid video that breaks him. We watch it in his car, on his phone, and he's so mad I'm afraid he's going to throw the phone out the window. Those fuckers. How dare they? Peter punches the steering wheel, and the horn beeps. I jump. I've never seen him upset like this. I'm not sure what to say, how to calm him down. I grew up in a house full of women and one gentle dad. I don't know anything about teenage boys' tempers. Shit. He yells. I hate that I can't protect you from this. I don't need you to, I say, and I realize as I say it that it's true. I'm coping on my own just fine, he stares straight ahead. But I want to. I thought I fixed it before, but here it is again. It's like fucking herpes. I want to comfort him, to make him laugh and forget. Teasingly I ask him, Peter, do you have herpes? Lara Jean, it's not funny. Sorry. I put my hand on his arm. Let's get out of here. Peter starts the car. Where do you want to go? Anywhere. Nowhere. Let's just drive. I don't want to run into anybody, I don't want any knowing looks or whispers. I want to hide. Peter's Audi, our little haven. To cover up my bleak thoughts, I give Peter a bright smile, bright enough to make him smile back. Just, the drive calms Peter down, and by the time we get to my house, Peter seems to be in good spirits again. I ask him if he wants to come inside and have pizza, it being pizza night and all. I tell him he can order whichever toppings he wants. But he shakes his head, says he should get home. For the first time he doesn't kiss me goodbye, and it makes me feel guilty, how bad he feels. It's partly my fault, I know it is. He feels like he has to make things right for me, and now. He knows he can't, and it's killing him. When I walk into the house, Daddy is waiting for me at the kitchen table, just sitting and waiting, eyebrows knit together. Why haven't you been answering your phone? Sorry, my battery died. Is everything okay? Judging by the serious look on his face, everything is definitely not okay. We need to talk, Lara Jean. Come sit down. Dread hits me like a tidal wave. Why, Daddy? What's wrong? Where's Kitty? She's in her room. I put down my bag and make my way over to the kitchen table, feet moving as slow as I can make them. I sit down next to him and he sighs heavily, hands folded.